Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk about race and ethnicity issue that's going on in America, especially in African community, African American community. All right. But first of all, before anything, I'm gonna put the video for you guys to watch. So because the U.S. government is trying to um, is considering including FBA, Fundamental American, it's called Fundamental Black American. That's how they call this themselves. They believe they're not Africans, but they come exactly from Africa. But because their ancestor was enslaved right here in the U.S., so they call themselves Fundamental Black Americans. So now the government is trying to considering adding them as another race, another type of black race. All right. All right. So there's difference between race and ethnicity. Race is a group of people that have the same way, like all Africans. We have the same, color and stuff like that. Of course, there's different, type of Africans, and then there's the light-skinned Africans, the dark-skinned Africans, there's albino Africans, and there's some white Africans, but they came from directly from Europe. So, okay, they're Africans. And then ethnicity is what identify you as a culture, as costume, language, and stuff like that. But in this case, they're trying to include FBA, Fundamental Black American, into a different race. Okay? They're trying to apart themselves from being African. There's a lot of stupidity in this country. It's very depressing watching that what white supremacy did to these people, did to the African American. Some of them, is not all of them, huh? Just some of African Americans. All right. Some of African Americans are so confused. They're so confused they don't even know who they are. Some of them, it's not all of them. Okay. But all this is only person to blame about this is a white supremacy. White supremacy is the most evil organization on earth. It makes sense too because they come from Satan. They're Satan's kids, white supremacists. So of course they're gonna be evil as Satan. So what they did to mind of these people, what they did across the world, they just messed up people so bad. These people, these white supremacists, they deserve nothing but to be close to Satan. All right? But now they're trying to confuse the people. They're trying to confuse African Americans they try to tell them that they're not Africans. They're better than Africans. They want to separate them from Africans. All right? Why? Remember the beginning, long time ago, they used to tell African American, go back to Africa. I remember when I first came to the US, when they used to say to me, go back to Africa, I used to say to them, go back to Europe, dumbass. So they used to say that, go back to Africa. Now they're not saying, because they saw so many African Americans, powerful African Americans, like Jay-Z, 50 Cent, all this African American, Dr. Dre, they have money. They go in there, Idris Elba from England, go in there, investing in Africa, taking their culture with themselves and their money with themselves. So the white supremacists starting to panic. They're starting to panic. Now they're coming with another tactic to confuse people. Now they're trying to include FBA, Fundamental Black America, as a new race in the US. But it's sad because a lot of dumb, stupid, ignorant African Americans are falling for it. A lot of them are falling for it. They're so easily manipulated. Easily manipulated. All right? Very easily manipulated. But because they saw that actually Africans now going back to invest in Africa so they can make Africa more powerful, because that's where they're from. They're not from here. You know what I'm saying? So now they come in with tactics, evil people, to confuse their mind, to make them go, identify them as another race. But let's watch this video and then we talk about it.
Okay, y'all, I'm about to work out because I need to get summertime fine. But this is going to be triggering for some of you guys. Some of you guys are already on this page. As a foundational Black American, it's time that we accepted that we're American. And I'm not going to lie, I had a hard time with this. I was very Pan-Africanist at one point. I felt like solidarity with brown and Black people. I'm Black American. Both my parents are Black American. I felt solidarity with Native Americans and Cubans and Jamaicans and Africans and Mexicans and everything. And I still do in my heart. However, what I found over the years is that the solidarity is not reciprocated. There's a lot of jealousy and outright racism and prejudices towards us. And a lot of people from other cultures are very, very indoctrinated white supremacy. I don't know why, even though we have our own issues, as we know as FBAs, we still know who our enemy is, and we know that our issues come from that group of people. Other people are still confused and want to be down. So they're jealous of us in a lot of ways because we have citizenship, because we are citizens, because we are in this country, and even our poorest people are doing better than a lot of people in other countries. But we earned that. We were slaves, and we went through 400 years of just horrible torture and just disgustingness and Jim Crow, and we're still not where we deserve to be. But all of that said, we're Americans, like it or not. We have African roots. We're from West Africa. I think we all, I know y'all gonna be like, we've always been American. There's been some Africans that were here, but a lot of us are from West Africa. Majority of us are from West Africa. And that's fine. I'm okay with being from West Africa. You can say, oh, we're Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, but they were still from West Africa. So I have no issues with being part of Africa, and you shouldn't either. That being said, though, we need to divest from trying to connect with these groups who don't really want us to connect with them unless we're producing American dollars as a whole. Some are cool as hell, but most of them are not. And we need to think of ourselves as Americans and push our own agenda as Americans. Stop extending our American benefits to everybody else who would never do the same in return, because we don't have enough power to squander our resources in unrequited love for other cultures and people. We have to build ourselves up first. And we can do that by understanding we're American.
So what's your ethnicity? I'm African American. No, you're Black American. But my ancestors came from Africa. No, he's a foundational Black American. What's the difference? No, he's an American descendant of slavery. Well, that's a mouthful, but I don't see how that... Why can't he just be Black? That's my race, but my ethnicity, like I said, is Solon, Hebrew Israelite. Technically indigenous, we were here first. Damn, how many ethnicities do y'all have?
Guys, I'm so passionate about my people, and when I see some dumb of us talking like this, it hurts me a lot. It hurts me a lot. And then I gotta call them for what they are: dumb, stupid, clown. Okay, clown. When you see, it's always... It's crazy. Let me tell you this. Black woman in the US are the most easily manipulated female in this country. They're so easily manipulated. All right? Let me tell you why. White supremacy knows that black American women are the most easiest. You know, like one woman say one time, there's a woman that said this on the YouTube, the black American women are the special kind of stupid. Seriously. First of all, black Americans, not all of them, but a big chunk of them are special kind of stupid. They easily manipulated. All right. First of all, African American women were living like a very beautiful life with their black men, with their African men, African American men. In the 50s, 40s, 50s, they was living a beautiful life. But then, because they're so easily manipulated, the white supremacy used their women, to sell them femininity. Feminist ideologist. Okay? Feminist ideology. Where they said that, well, you don't need you black men. You don't need you African American men. Okay? You can do better by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can be independent. You can be powerful. You don't need them in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's the stupidity. The white supremacy used their white woman to sell to black women, to African women, African American women. They're so dumb, they're so stupid. They easily manipulated. They believe in everything they said. And then they get rid of their men. They get rid of the black men. They get rid of African American men, you know. And they took the government assistance, like food stamp and housing and everything. They decided to raise their kids alone, you know what I'm saying? And majority of those kids turned criminals because lack of the man and lack of the father and home, a home. So they have that lack of father to teach them how to behave at home, because the mother decided to put the father out because they don't need the father. They have government help with food and with housing. So automatically they don't need the father. So they break their family. They break the black African American family. Female, African American woman did this, okay? Because they was manipulated by white women to believe that they can be superior. They can be independent, and they don't need African American men. All right? Just for you to see how stupid they are. They fall for that. And now that African American men got tired of their BS, and African American men are flying overseas looking for wives in African continent, in Thailand, in Brazil, in Colombia, in Venezuela, in Philippines. Now those women over there in those countries, in African countries, are taking their man. They get mad and they start yapping on the internet, saying all this stuff. Oh, those women are ignorant, they're poor. Like if they are right here are rich. Like if they're rich, which they are not. You know what I'm saying? But because they're so stupid, easily manipulated, they kick their husband out of the house. Now the husband is going overseas to look for wife that respect them, that treat them well. Now they get mad. The same tactic white supremacy use, okay? They use that same tactic to put homosexuality in the black community, transgender, and now transgender are coming after are coming after them. Men, what is transgender? Transgender are men that transform from being men to become a woman. Okay, their transformation from being men to become a woman. So that's what we call transgender. That's what it's called, transgender. So they sold that BS in the black community, in other communities also, So because they want to control the population of black or African people, being raised in this country. They don't want to be overtaken by black people. So they sold homosexuality. They sold transgender agenda. So many people become many black men become transgender. They transform themselves into women. Now they sell in femininity. Feminist ideology. You know what I'm saying? So they always saying the man are this, man that. And then because of that, black women fall for it. And then now transgenders are coming against black women, saying that not just black women, but all women. Now transgender are coming saying that they are the woman. The biological women are, they call them right now the cisgender or something like that. So they're changing everything, where men are becoming women and women are becoming men. All right? So they call biological woman as cisgender. All right? So just see, tactics of white supremacy, what they use. All right? So now they're using the FBA. FBA is the new tactics they're coming with. So people are saying that the reason why they decide to be FBA, Fundamental Black American, is because they feel that the solidarity they have with black people around the world, or African people, the solidarity they have for Africans is not reciprocal. That means like Africans are very prejudiced towards them. That's what they're saying. They're generalizing all Africans. When they see like one African being prejudiced towards them, they include all of us into the same thing. All right. Again, stupidity. When you're so stupid, when you're so dumb, that's how you think. You only think one way. You're not able to think outside the box. All right. So you're going to think if one group of people do anything bad to you, you're going to think everybody do the same to you. That's because you have a little mind, a small mind, a stupid mind that you can think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to go by what other people tell you. So just because some Africans are, a little bit discriminate against them, which is a lot of African American discriminate against me right here in this country. But I'm not going to say all of African American are the same. So because of that, but female, this is how they think. It always start with female. They the one that messed up everything. Okay? Because they easily manipulated. Easily manipulated. They think with their feelings. They don't use their head to think. That's why they easily manipulated. All right? They're going to see one thing. They're going to think is everybody's doing it. So they think all Africans mistreat them. All Africans are, have some type of discriminatory behavior towards them. That's what they believe. Some of them, right? Mostly females believe that, because I know some of the men believe that, but only those men that were raised by the female, by their mother, without the presence of their father, that believe those kind of stuff. Because of course they're gonna behave like their mother, okay? Because the mother is the one that raised them after she kicked the father out of the house. They believe also that Africans are jealous of them because they have American citizenship, okay? Because even though poor people in the U.S. are better off than poor people in Africa and other part of the world, that's what they believe. See how stupid these people are? You see how stupid and easily manipulated these people are? The same thing. The same tactics white supremacists use. When they used to tell them, oh, you're better than Africans in the continent. Remember, at least you're not suffering like Africans in the continent. You're better than them. No, that's what white supremacy used to put in their mind to believe that they're better than Africans. Okay? It's the same thing this woman in the video was saying. Stupid thing. There's no such thing that's called FBA. That's the BS. Okay? That's the BS. That's another, there's always a catch. That's another plan to divide Africans, you know, because they don't want to see Africa. Africa is going up. They don't want to see Africa go up. They don't want to see African Americans going back to Africa, you know what I'm saying, to really live their life over there. Of course, they're going to come up with all kind of tactics, evil tactics, to destroy the idea of African America going back to where they belong, which is Africa. You know, because they know if African Americans go back to Africa, those that are already going, a lot of, thousands already going. You know, thousands already gone. They're not coming back. Some will come back, of course. But once they go to Africa and get their citizenship in Africa, now they have a place to fall back if things didn't work out right here for them. So white supremacists don't want to see that because they don't want to lose the money that this African American is going to take back to Africa, which is the rightly place where they belong. You know, I was born in Africa, but I don't have more right to Africa than an African American. We have the same rights. If you're African American, you're watching me, understand this. You, compared to any African in Africa, you guys have the same rights. No African have more right than you in Africa. Okay? So, don't let this idea of saying that you guys are FBA, that's BS. You're not FBA. You're African, period. You must be mentally sick to believe that you are an FBA. All right? Wake up. They play a game on you and you easily manipulate it. You're not able to think outside the box. You're not able to think by yourself. You're easily fooled in this country. You are African, period. You're not FBA, MBA, or NBA, whatever it is. You are African, period. All right? Put that in your mind. Be proudful of yourself. Africa is raising. Africa is going to be the biggest powerful nation on earth when we unite. African country is going to be the biggest place on earth to live. Okay? They know that. That's why they're trying to keep you guys away from Africa. So wake up. Don't let these stupid people manipulate you. All right? Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.
I mean, you got, the boxing style, like Joe Frazier. You'll never see Joe Frazier jabbing and faking and backing up and moving the side.
Oh, man, you got a surprise coming. You got a surprise coming. You wait till 28.
How you going to teach old dog new tricks? How you going to learn some new tricks?
You called him an old dog. Well,
no, you are still agitating. I didn't say that.
No, he called you. I heard it. Didn't he say it?
What you mean a dog? You didn't call me a dog, so you can't teach dogs.
He said an old dog, new tricks. He calls you a bear half the time.
He
told me at the camp that you sleep with a teddy bear in your bed. Now, I don't make these things up, you know.
That's what he said.
This guy tells me this.
Let's be friends for 1 minute just to get him.
No, come on. Please, come on. No, come on. No. This is my good...
Let's show him.
Oh, what?
Let's show him. All of the brothers out there watching television,
yeah.
I don't care how mad y'all at each other, when it's come to one of these fellas trying to divide us, we must unite.